Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Codex Podcast. I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and with me is my fellow host, Jamie Wojek.
How's it going, guys? Oh my god, Sonny. Of course you had to throw that on. Oh.
It's going good, and I had to throw it on.
Oh my god. If you guys don't know why I'm laughing so hard, go check out our YouTube channel for last week's little announcement Sonny made. Where he was wearing that, so... Oh my...
I had to put that on. I had to put on an outfit, get a hatchet, and go off and try to save the day as Jamie was saving this podcast.
Yes, I'm crying at the moment. That was... I knew something was... Oh, okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, so here we go. We got a lot to cover today. Today I am hosting, and we will be talking about comic book news. We got Black Widow, Morbius, Shang-Chi. We got a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of trailers that were released within this past 2 weeks. We'll be going over our reviews. I recommended for Jamie Silver Surfer Annual 6. He recommended Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual 1 for me. I have a surprise topic for Jamie that I haven't mentioned yet. And then we got a whole bunch of stuff that's going to go on. And today's episode will be longer because we'll make up for lost time. Last week we were not able to do a show. And we are sorry about that, but sometimes in life things happen, and techno-organic viruses sometimes destroy people's desktops, and sometimes people have to put on big VRs and come through, and life is sometimes crazy. But we are back, better than ever, and with a lot less lagging, no lagging anymore. So we're ready for episode 3.
I'm excited to be back. I never thought, even though it's the 3rd episode, that I would miss it that much in 1 week. Like, I wanted to talk to somebody so bad about some news, and I'm like messaging you, and we're like, we'll talk about it on the show. And I'm like, I want to talk about it now. Like,
yeah, actually, I missed it. Like you said, we only did 2 episodes, but I was getting used to Wednesdays being the Codex Podcast Day.
Yeah.
But we're back. We're good. The sun is probably going to be shining bright in my face again.
As
usual. It likes to do that. Yeah, during every episode, the sun likes to shine the brightest right in my face.
All right. Well, as for last week, we got everything figured out now. Like I said, less lag, hopefully still. We have the news from last week and this week. And I'm just ready, Sonny. Let's get this going.
All right. But first, before we get to the news, would you like to tell us a little more about what was going on last week and how you came through and how you fixed it?
Sure. So, as I was editing episode 2, my computer decided finally to go kapooey on me. So, I ended up getting a new desktop, setting up everything. I had to rush to the house so that way we can make this episode happen. We did encounter a couple minor problems along the way, but now we're set. I was able to get everything out. We are now officially, happily to say, on Spotify. So you can catch our episodes. The first 2 episodes are already up there. You can catch the 3rd hopefully by this weekend, or if I've got enough time after this podcast today. We're also on Google Podcast, Radio Public, Breaker, and Pocket Casts. So you can find us all over there. And make sure you guys check it out. I mean, we're on Anchor as well. I mean, guys, we're pretty much trying to make it everywhere we can. So.
Yes, everywhere. We want you to eventually get sick of us.
Yes,
you hear about us
the
and
plan.
see us everywhere.
When you hear me or Sonny's voice, you turn off your computer or your screen.
Well, you could leave it on, and you could even just walk away. You know, we need those views.
They're just gonna turn off the sound and just stare at Sonny.
There you go. Here I am. And as Dave said, hashtag glowing. Right there.
Right.
But even in the pre-show, I was talking about how we said Spotify, and I was having too much fun. When you can change the speed, and I put us on the halfway, 0.5, and we sound like we're drunk doing the whole show.
Yes. And if you guys want to actually see what we were talking about, the full thing, go catch us over, twitch.tv/Codex Podcast. This will probably be up by the weekend on YouTube at the Codex Podcast. So make sure you guys check out our actual pre-show because there's some funny stuff that happens.
Yeah, and the pre-show is usually when we interact a lot more with our viewers, and we check out our comments, and that's when we have a lot more time to just kind of hang out. Like I said, bust each other's chops, mess around before the show, and then we get down to the show, we get down to our topics and everything like that. So,
Yes, sir.
we got a lot of comic book news today. All right, let's start it off with Black Widow. So, 2 weeks ago, Jamie, you thought it was out, and it is not out yet.
No, it's a bit away.
Dave let us know
I think it's
July
another
9th.
2 weeks.
So it's almost
okay. So
there.
yeah. So what day did you say?
Dave did let us know last time. I didn't see his comment until the show was over that he was going to say July 9th. And
yeah, so
he's right. Yeah, July 9th.
Yeah. So, well, the news about that was it was Scarlett Johansson basically coming out saying like that was her swan song, her last goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everyone's coming to an end, and it after the whole 10 years of watching them and kind of seeing how it progressed, it's getting to the point now where it's like, all right, all these guys that we watched for ever are almost done.
Yeah, and even too, it's weird to think that, like I said, so many years have gone by. I'm like, yeah, I can't blame them. Like, they're obviously actors and actresses, so they want to move on with their career. But I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that they had been playing those characters for so long, and they've done a great job. Like, Scarlett Johansson has done a great job, I think, of playing Black Widow. So it's great that she gets her own, that she/Black Widow gets her own movie, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I might actually buy that one on Disney Plus just to watch it early instead of waiting the 2 months for it to come out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we shall see. I'm not sure. Do you know if are you gonna see it in the movies theater or are you gonna watch it on Disney Plus? What do you think?
I'm buying it on Disney Plus. I'd rather do that right now. I like being in the comfort of my own bedroom and just boop.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. I might do that because I like watching movies more at home. I do have quite a few gift cards. Before the pandemic hit, me and my girlfriend Maria had gotten a bunch of gift cards, and then everything got shut down. So I'm like, well, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. But now we can move on to vampires. Morbius. So now when we get on to Morbius, actor Tyrese Gibson was saying that Morbius will be a part of the MCU, and then later on it was said that it's not true that Morbius will not be a part of the MCU. And I know you had more things to say about this, Jamie. What do you think about Tyrese Gibson and all his lying?
So for me, there's two things that are going on here. First off, is Gibson, and this is the same guy that in the Fast and Furious franchise. You know how they came out with Hobbs and Shaw?
Yeah.
Him and whatever the name of Ludacris's character is, Gibson was saying that they had contract in hand that they were going to have their own spin-off show. There was never a contract on the table. The guys from Fast and the Furious said, stop saying there's a contract on the table, because there isn't.
There's probably their way. I was going to say, maybe their way of trying to get one. Like, hey, if we mention it, fans are going to be so excited.
If we talk about this and then stir up some, drama and get the fans all in it.
And then just nobody cared.
Yeah. Real fast. Hi, Haley.
Heyo.
But I don't know. I can't trust the guy on that aspect because it just doesn't. Okay, I can see it being a possibility that it does happen. I can see them with everything that's going on right now in Loki. You got Doctor Strange coming out.
That's really good.
The Multiverse of Madness, and then you've got with Spider-Man 2. It's that I don't see it. I don't see how it couldn't be a possibility that he somehow transfers into there. We do get that one still shot in the Morbius trailer of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in the background. So he could be pulled into the multiverse somehow. There's always a possibility. But as far as Gibson's claims at the time, I could care less what that guy has to say. Like, honestly, it's like you can't. I mean, would it be cool? Absolutely. Is it going to happen? Maybe. But at the end of the day, do I trust the guy that can't even make a decision for his own life? Nope. Not one bit.
Yeah, so we shall see. Like I said, to me, it doesn't seem like it's too far-fetched, but like you said, he really shouldn't be paid attention to when he's saying all these big things. Because like I said, he's not reliable and probably just trying
Yeah,
to get attention. Because I
it's
didn't
like
even know he was in the movie until this.
yeah, he's like the Wikipedia back in when we were in school, and it's like you could just change anything on Wikipedia to make it sound like it's true. That's him.
Yes, that's Tyrese Gibson. All right, well, I do look forward to seeing Morbius. I'm a fan of vampire movies and a fan of, like I said, obviously comic book movies.
Maybe Jared Leto would actually do good in this role. Now that he went to Marvel,
Hopefully better than the Joker.
better than Joker.
All right, and then also the Shang-Chi trailer came out. And what did you think about it?
With Shang-Chi, I see. Here's my problem: is we've had street level heroes on TV shows. So we've had like Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and then we had the Defenders come together. We haven't really, besides I want to say Hawkeye, seen like, well, maybe Black Widow too. I throw her in that mix. Is like a street level hero. They didn't get a lot of screen time. They got, as a collective, they had a lot, like of all the movies, but they never had their shining moment.
Oh, yeah.
Now that everything's over with, now we got Hawkeye, the TV series coming out, and then now we got Black Widow, the movie, which like we just talked about earlier, is their final swan song. I really am hoping that this turns out to be better than I expect, because I'm going into this. Shang-Chi, for those that don't know, never really had his own comic line. He always just showed up. He was like a B-list Avenger. He'd help out when he could. He'd show up and team up with Spider-Man every now and then. He was more of like, he'd jump in for like the heroes for hire, so like Iron Fist and Luke Cage. But he never had his own time to shine. And in this trailer, I really do like it. Like I wanna love it, but I just like it at this point. I do like the way they're going with the rings, as they're more like bracelets than actual like Mandarin, like old style on the fingers. I like how they actually are bringing the Mandarin back, but I think
A legit Mandarin, hopefully.
Yeah.
No actor.
No Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
But I do hope, like, the biggest news was that one scene of Abomination fighting Wong in a tournament, and I'm praying that we get more than just that scene from the trailer in the movie. And it's not just like, are
That's
you
what I
guys
think
ready?
it's
And
gonna be.
then on this side Wong, on this side Abomination, and then that's it. And then we cut to something else and we see them in like the locker room or wherever they're at that later, like, good fight.
Yeah, like the one part, yeah. Because, well, for me, because I didn't really know Shang-Chi until like I saw the trailer, or I started hearing about the trailer, and I watched it, and I started looking him up, like, okay, where can I find Shang-Chi? Is there like a big story arc that he was in? And it kept bringing me to the Master of Kung Fu comic.
Yeah, he was a primary in that, obviously, because that's where he came out of. But there was no, I don't think he's really ever had a run besides something in the 70s, which was Marvel's way of saying, like, this is our Bruce Lee right here.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was trying to look, and like I said, he wasn't in much else, and so I'm like, okay, hopefully it's good, like, I'm not really expecting too much. I thought the trailer seemed, to me, pretty good, but I wasn't, like, super excited, and then I'm a fan of The Incredible Hulk, and I actually really like the character, The Abomination.
Yeah.
But I felt like, because I seen him in the Hulk movie first. I probably saw him in the cartoon, as a kid, but I remember like thinking the Hulk, oh, okay, it's cool, he was a cool villain, and then when I got into reading the comics more, I started to really like the Abomination as a character, and then felt that the movies didn't really do him justice, in my opinion. I liked in the comics how he lived in the sewers, and how he was, he was kind of in his own way, he was a good guy, like taking care of all those who were, less fortunate.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to see that again in Shang-Chi. I think, like you said, it's probably going to be one fight scene, and then there we go.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, would I love for it to be a different story? Yes. But because Wong is one of those characters. I don't know, like in Infinity War, he just dipped out. Like he's like, bye, Wong, whoop, and he was gone. And then he came back at the end of Endgame, and he's like, "You wanted more?" And then after that, we never saw him again. So like, what happened between then and that point, and then after? So
we'll see. And again, I forgot when it comes out. Did they give a release date yet or no?
I didn't check. I usually wait till they're like it's a month away, like in 2 weeks.
Closer.
I try not to keep on dates because right now with the whole pandemic, everything got pushed back. Batman with Battison supposed to come out this year, and that got pushed to next. You know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because that did look pretty good. I mean, the preview for that, or the trailer, didn't show too much, but it got me excited.
Yeah, and
I'm
that's why
looking
I'm kind of like steering back on dates right now, is because you never know if they're just gonna change them again with everything that's going on with like HBO Max's contracts, where they can release movies the same day as in theater. That's when I'll wait till I get a definitive date.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, September 3rd.
Yeah.
Dave, this is why you're here.
Yeah, thank you for keeping us updated. So September 3rd, okay, not too far away.
I can see Dave like in my head right now, like on his keyboard. I'm gonna get this form right now. Oh, yep. This.
But thank you. We do appreciate it.
With that information, I don't want to make us lag at all, so I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, or at least I #Team Sonny appreciates my fans.
And I #Team Jamie. It's Dave.
Okay, so Suicide Squad trailers coming out.
Yeah, it is. Still gonna be better than anything Marvel's produced in I don't know how long.
I don't know, man. I expected a lot more of the first movie.
That was a mulligan. We don't count that movie. That movie never really happened because Jared Leto was the Joker in it. So.
Yeah, this got John Cena, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just an invisible screen the entire time.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully it's good. I know they replaced Will Smith with Idris Elba, so we'll see how he does as a character.
And there's been a lot of like backlash about that. If you haven't seen the comments on that, Sonny, people are after this trailer, people are like upset because the first thing they say is, "Oh, he put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet," and everyone's like, "How's some low-level character do that?" For comic fans, they understand that that's something that actually happened. That's his origin. He shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet and put him in the ICU. That's what his whole claim to fame was. So, and him being, and then they're trying to say that his whole story is like Deadshot, like they're using his daughter as their scapegoat. Well, Will Smith wanted to come back and be Deadshot again, but I guess he had conflicting dates with movies and couldn't make it for this one. So they did.
Such a diva, Will Smith.
Yeah. So yeah, right. The Fresh Prince. How dare he? But they brought Elba in, and he's not the same character, but he's got some of the same attributes, which you still need. You don't have that, sharpshooter. So.
Yeah, so we'll see how that is, and then Dave let us know that comes out August 6th.
Yes.
So it's right around the corner, pretty much.
Yes, and
that will Black Widow July 9th, Suicide Squad August 6th, and then September 3rd we got Shang-Chi.
Yeah, well, that one I did know the actual date for. I didn't get to that. Thanks, Dave, either way. But that one's gonna be on HBO Max same day. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I do want to see that. I do like the direction because James Gunn's attached to it, and from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, he's done a phenomenal job.
Yes, that's good.
So he's good with team movies, and he's got the drama, the laughter, and everything else. It looks like it from the past 3 trailers. I'm more than excited.
Yeah. And then Dave mentioned that Will Smith is rumored to be in the new Black Panther movie. And actually, we were going to bring up today that they said they started filming Black Panther. Was it Forever Wakanda?
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever?
Wakanda Forever.
Okay, Wakanda Forever, my bad. I wonder if we will see Will Smith in there. And then the thing is, with how it's filming, I know there's been a lot of talk before. They were saying should the Black Panther character be retired since Chadwick Boseman passed away, and then just saying to continue the story without him or have him replaced. and it seems
Yeah.
that they're going in the way of just continuing it, but no longer having the T'Challa character anymore.
Yeah, I think they're still. Well, we'll just get on that topic now since we're talking about it. With it filming and everything, I do believe that they said that they're not gonna replace Chadwick Boseman, so T'Challa is not gonna be Black Panther anymore. I feel like they're gonna either give Shuri the mantle, or they're gonna find a way to bring Michael B. Jordan back and basically make him see his ways, and he needs to be the better version of himself, and he's gonna take over the mantle.
Yeah, so see, like I said, yeah, a lot of people want to see Shuri, and then like I said, Michael B. Jordan is Killmonger. That he became actually a really popular villain.
Yeah,
And then like I said, now if I could see like I said going that way where he could come back and take over. What do you think? Would you like to see? I know, like now, it seems like it's pretty much a done deal. But would you have liked to see a new actor take over as T'Challa, or do you like knowing that somebody else is just going to take over and his character is basically done?
well, for me, I don't know. It depends how they play it. There's so many ways they could roll this out. I would say I would like the Black Panther mantle to still go on it, but do your due diligence and honor Boseman the best way possible.
Yeah.
You know, he did a phenomenal job as Black Panther. There's no doubt in my mind
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah, like I said, like perfect casting, pretty much.
Yeah, 100%. And just make sure you just do his due diligence on it. You know, don't bring someone in that's going to be in for one movie and then want to be out the next.
Yeah, even me too. I could see, like I said, obviously if it's a good story and they have somebody else take over, like say Shuri or Killmonger, if it's really good, then hey, I'll enjoy it. But I would have liked to have seen somebody else. Like I said, it's really unfortunate, tragic that Chadwick Boseman passed away.
Yeah.
But on someone, I would like to see the character continue on. We got to see Black Panther a little bit in one of the Captain Americas and Avengers, and then finally he got the Black Panther movie, and then to be like his character is already done. Whereas comic book characters they live on, and even as we've seen in comic book history, just there's so many writers and artists have made the characters and they've passed on, and then other people have taken over. Where that's what they like with comic books, is that the characters they live on. They will basically outlive us all.
Right.
But so we'll see when that comes out, and hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. They'll find a way to make it work.
All right, and then now let's get on the subject of your guy, Red Hood.
Oh
You
yeah.
take it away.
Yeah.
I know you're excited about this one.
Oh,
so.
I'm even wearing the Red Hood, another Red Hood shirt today. I'm so excited. We got our first look at Jason Todd's portrayal as Red Hood in Titans Season 3 teaser trailer. And I am over the moon because of the fact that they still had Joker beating him with a crowbar to kill him. And then we got our first look at him in the Red Hood costume. I think they could have done a little bit of a better job with the mask, but other than that, it looked flawless. Like I'm more than excited for this. I've been a fan. Like it's like an Elseworld Titan story, but still a Titan story.
Well, cool. Yeah, I remember, like I said, the trailer you sent it to me, so obviously I had to watch it. And typical me, I'm not caught up on my shows, and I have not seen it, but I did watch the trailer, and it did look really good.
Yeah, especially
So
when
I
they're
was
in
like,
that the amusement mile, and you hear the Joker laughter in the background. You just see him with the crowbar just swinging and beating him. I'm just like, what's going on? Like, I know it isn't the comic book accurate way, but as long as they still included the crowbar and the Joker is the one that kills him, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, like I say, we know TV shows and movies, it's best not to expect it to be just like the comics, but sometimes we like to see something that is like, oh, that's from the comics, to get us excited about. So
yeah, I'm overly
definitely
excited.
Let me know how that is. Well, I hope it's terrific. I hope you enjoy every moment of it, and one day I will get started on Titans and catch up to you.
Yeah, it's worth the watch, and that one I will be binge watching when it comes out.
Yeah. And wait, Titans, is that HBO
Yes,
Max?
it is.
Or is it on? Okay, keep
Both
going,
seasons are
Alex.
on there right now. Season 3 is set to premiere, and Dave will probably give me the date because I don't even know the date. I think it's August. Quote me. But yeah.
Okay, so now we'll get on to a little bit of a controversial subject of Warren Ellis, the writer. So there's been talk that Warren Ellis has been, one saying that he was using his position to make to get her to have sex with him, and then she's saying that that was wrong, and people are saying he got fired now, right?
Well, okay. So what's going on with that? The funny thing is when you sent me the news of it, I read previously that Image Comics said if he issued an apology, all be good. Because it's exactly what you said. It's a controversy. It's not 100% set in stone that it happened. I mean, even look at today, for example. I got the news on my phone that the whole Bill Cosby thing that happened, it got overturned today. He's out of jail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as for him being fired, he literally released the Batman's Grave. I read it. It was a 12-issue mini or maxi series. Not that long ago, which I didn't know that they had it already written and drawn out before this whole controversy happened. It was coming out as it was going on. But Image, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, came out and said if he issued an apology, all would be fine until something like evidence shows otherwise. So right now I think he's at a stalemate where no one wants to really work with him because of the fact that they're waiting to see what comes out of it. And even there's gonna be the whole cancel culture going on with this, like get rid of him because he did it, and other people will be like we don't know yet. So like I said, we're just gonna chalk it up right now to basically just a controversy that hasn't been solidified.
Yeah, so what I'd like to say about it is, I don't know. We don't know the exact story, if he's guilty, if he's innocent, but I guess it just comes down to everybody to be professional at work, try to keep that stuff out of it because, you don't want anything like this happening. And then, there is one thing. You have worked, like I said, in the film industry. I'm not like, I've been around for this long.
I've been around for a decade.
Yeah, but a lot of women do say that there are so many people that they do try to use their power, their position of power, to get women to, hey, if you have an audition, but it's at my house or something like that. So I don't really know, like I said, what happened with Warren. I don't know him. I don't know the woman who's saying he did what he did.
Yeah.
So we shall just see. Like I said, just everybody
the more news
try to stay professional,
that comes out,
try to stay cool.
Yeah, the more news that comes out, the more we'll talk about it. Up until that point, I don't think there's really, besides like you said, Sonny, you gotta be professional, do what you need to do. That is not one of the things that you should be doing. But at the end of the day, like when we hear what happens with him, we'll let you guys know, keep you guys informed. I do like Warren Ellis' writing. I think he's a great writer. But right now, I think he's just stuck. And that's where he should be right now, is just laying low for a while.
Yeah, especially, too, like I said, and people who want to work with him, obviously, like I said, I haven't read his work, so I'm not going to just immediately say, like, I don't like it because of this or that, or, I think you're so great. I don't know, so I'm not going to say how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a tough position for people to hire him because they know right now anything he works on, it's just going to be people, like you said, who are just completely against it, completely against him. And then you would be worried, like, okay, do I hire him? And then you're 6 issues in, and then suddenly says, boom, guilty.
Yeah.
Of something.
Well,
and then
even with
your stuff is canceled.
What's her name? Allison Mack, the star from Smallville. She's got sentenced today for 3 years.
Only 3? Jeez.
Yeah, only 3. If those who don't know, Allison Mack played, what was it, Chloe Sullivan in Smallville?
Chloe Sullivan.
Yeah, in Smallville. And she got caught, what was it? It was sex trafficking and a sex cult.
Yeah, she was at that NXIVM, and the guy, I forgot the guy's name, but the cult leader, he had her as one of her top women.
The recruiters.
and she was recruiting people, and that they were saying that she was branding people, that they were blackmailing women. And I know there's a few documentaries on it I haven't seen. Like there's a series on this, a series about that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see like which one should I watch.
But
But
yeah, no, they
yeah, when you know the details, it's bad. And
they came out and said that, or they gave her 3 years. They gave her court mandated. What is that? I can't think of the name. Just basically help, like therapy. There we go. Couldn't think of the word. Therapy for it. But yeah, I mean that kind of stuff. Not one to play with when you have a name that's actually attached to something.
yeah, and she's done.
Yeah, her life's over.
Her career. There's no coming back from that. And especially too, because I liked the character of Chloe. Now, like if I ever watch the show again, like I'm still gonna like the character because
you have a
she's just the
connection
actress
at that point.
Played it. If she played her, but she's not the character. The character's a different person. But yeah, nobody's gonna want her back. Who would want somebody back like that? Who's trying to recruit the female cast members? Hey, join this cult with me.
Yeah.
So we could brand you.
Well, we did have someone bring up about Amber Heard still being a part of Aquaman 2 after all the allegations and all the evidence that was brought against. It's the same.
Yeah, a lot of people want her gone.
I do. I know for a fact that I can't stand it. There actually was evidence against her and nothing's been done. But hey, it is what it is. She made it on her end. Do I think it was right? No. Could they have replaced her 100%? I did like her as Mira. I'm going to have to like her again as Mira in Aquaman 2. But as far as do I think it was the right decision, I think there's too much behind that. But like I said, it's just an opinion. So
yeah, our opinions.
I'm excited for Aquaman 2 regardless.
Yeah, and yeah, like I gotta say, yeah, because I do remember watching it, like putting all the personal stuff behind. I thought she did a good job. Yeah. I thought she was good as Mara. But rehiring her for the next one, I think it's a dumb move. I don't think it's smart at all, and they're gonna see their numbers are really gonna drop.
Yeah.
Whereas if I know a lot of people wanted Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, I thought that would have been amazing.
And trust me, that would have made so many people excited to see that.
But she jumped ship to Marvel, so.
Yeah, but especially if they were able to get her and Jason Momoa back together.
Oh yeah.
Especially as a Game of Thrones fan, people would have been going nuts.
Right.
But
hey, I am finally almost done with Game of Thrones. By the way, finally.
All right,
I'm on season 5. I only got a couple more.
Okay, yeah, well, especially 6, man. I'm not gonna give spoilers, but I liked. Definitely 6 is one of my favorite seasons.
All right, but on to the next news, Sonny.
All right. Yeah, we're on to Supergirl.
Oh.
So would I take over how we saw the first image of Supergirl with the live action Supergirl?
Oh yeah. Flashpoint came out and sent out their first 3 stills of the live action Flash movie, which at this point we're calling Flashpoint because that's what's gonna be, or in some type of multiverse, of a way it can be. But we did get to see Supergirl in her outfit. We got to see Michael Keaton back as Bruce Wayne, which I was, a little fanboying. And then we seen Ezra Miller reprised as Barry Allen. I gotta say, I'm excited to see this different portrayal of Supergirl. A lot of people, including myself, think that the outfit looks like the Injustice suit from that series, which if you get a chance, Sonny, later on, look up the Injustice Supergirl suit, and you'll probably be like, that's spot on. But I think she's going to do an amazing job. I think that bringing back Michael Keaton is still... It blows my mind that they're still doing that. Like, I can't wait.
It's a smart move, right there.
It is.
Michael Keaton back is a smart move.
Yes, that is a smart move. He hasn't had anything bad about him. But see, like, even with Justice League, I love both movies. Like I've already said in my own right, they both had their moments. But I just never saw Ezra Miller as Barry Allen. And in these stills, it's still the same thing for me. Like, he just doesn't... He's in a suit and tie, but it's like... He looks like he's trying to fight for custody for his kids.
Yeah, to me, I still see him as being in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Is that what he was in before?
Yeah, that's what I still remember him for. And
Yeah, I've never seen him in anything, so I can't really. But like, that's the only like. There's a lot of actors that would be like, if they were this person, it'd been better. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah, I
could
really was surprised that they
pinpoint.
did pick him to be the Flash.
But with him, it was just so out of. Like I get his humor, I get his like shyness, because Barry Allen had some of that. Like, but at the end of the day, he's always trying to be a better version of himself, and it doesn't. This just looks like a step back to me. I mean, I could be wrong, and it could just blow me away with the movie, but time will tell.
Yeah, it is DC after all.
Yes, it is. They are amazing in every way.
I want to say every way.
More than Marvel.
Okay, we'll see how Amber Heard does.
Yes, we will. We will.
All right, but so there we go. We talked about movies coming up and all that stuff and all the news, the controversies.
Oh, we did miss one thing.
All right, one more thing.
There was, or still is, talk about the Smallville animated series.
Yes.
And Sonny, I wanted to get your take on this because I want to know how you feel about 5 more seasons, potentially, of Clark Kent trying to get back with Lana Lang, but in animation.
We need more. We need more Klana. Every episode, I just hope there's more of like the two of them, because I loved Smallville. That is one show I make sure I watch the whole thing. Smallville does mean a lot to me.
You know
I'll be watching animated
countless
series.
times me and you have stayed up late just when we used to all hang out, and we just watch binge entire seasons of it.
I wasn't there, man.
Yeah, you were, brah.
I had all the DVDs and watched it by myself. I know you guys all did.
I thought you were there for those.
Nah.
I thought you were. Well, you were there in spirit. How about that?
Yeah, but I know Keith and everybody. I know you guys would all watch them. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just wanted to get your take, because it was was it Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling, who supposedly hated being Superman at one point, wants to come back as Superman, but in animation format.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm definitely excited to see it because I did love Smallville, and we need more Klana. We need more seasons of Clark and Lana getting close to each other, and they're gonna go for the kiss, and then they don't go for the kiss, and then I'm screaming like, "Just go for the kiss already!
Just do it, get it
Tell
over
her
with.
You love her." And then somebody interrupts it, and my heart's just
hit you right in the feels every time.
Need more of that every time. And then, like I said, I do hope, like we were just talking about the Allison Mack controversy and all that stuff, and she's about to be a jailbird.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I hope they bring back the character of Chloe Sullivan, and then especially with it being animated, just have somebody else.
Yeah, you could find somebody easily.
Yeah, there's plenty of voice actors and actresses out there. Well, for her, hoping it's a voice actress who does the part.
Yeah. We will see. So yeah, that basically covers everything that we wanted to go over for the last 2 weeks news-wise.
Yeah, got a lot of news. And then, good thing we were just talking about animated series. Now I could bring us into why on Instagram and Facebook too, when it was Father's Day, I chose the Codex podcast to post the Green Goblin.
Yeah, I was
when wishing good fathers happy Father's Day, not the trashy ones, only the good ones.
And my favorite thing about Sonny, for those who don't know, is Sonny will post at 3 a.m. about things, and I wake up to likes and hearts and retweets, and I don't know what they're about because I didn't post anything. And then when I see it was at 3, 4 a.m, I'm like, Sonny, I didn't know you were doing this. Awesome.
Yeah. A nice way to wake up, right? With love, and that you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, or what you did.
Yeah, and random videos and random comic books given to you to review.
Oh yeah, those are my favorite, especially when you're like, oh yeah, and we're gonna review Luther, and I'm like, oh, I haven't read that. I've got 3 days.
Hey, and tomorrow we'll be reviewing Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, so why I chose him is because I've mentioned before that I'm getting into acting, and then I see sometimes people post stuff, and I saw a thing talking about an animated series, an animated parody series
Mm-hmm.
of like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's Spider-Man. It's something comic books. I had to jump on it. I'm interested. How do I? I'm interested. What can I do to be a part of this? And if you have any questions, ask me. I'm a huge fan. So they just said, hey, just if I could hear your voice, if you could send me some kind of voice of you doing somebody from Spider-Man. I said, who would you like? They said, oh, just whatever to hear your voice. So I got to Spider-Man issue 121, which those of you know, a certain huge death happens in it, and there's a big confrontation between Spider-Man and Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that scene from Spider-Man and Green Goblin, and I voiced me doing Spider-Man and Green Goblin's voice. And sent it in, hoping that maybe one day I could play somebody. I was thinking like if they usually like to do their own main characters, and like maybe I'll get Green Goblin. So I can keep you updated on that, but it'd be nice if I could see, even for a 3-minute video, me voicing Green Goblin.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And then, yeah, and then they asked me, like, oh, could you do just like a random guy in a Batman thing? So I say, sure. So in like a week or two or something, I don't know how it'll be, I would be doing a voice of some guy trying to buy drugs, and then Batman's gonna save the day. Hopefully it's good. If not, then I just won't mention it
Yeah,
again.
we won't be posting that on any of the social medias unless it is.
But if it's really cool, if it turns out to be great,
Then we'll put it
I'll,
up there. If it's
check it
trash,
out.
we don't even know what you're talking about.
All right. And then now that brings us to the topic of the week.
Oh yes.
Should I take it away? Take it away.
You know what? You can actually take this one, Sonny. You're host, so.
Sure. All right. So this week we were talking about, or our topic of the week was asking, in comic books, when a character dies, should they stay dead, or should they be allowed to come back? Jamie, what's your opinion on it? What do you think?
Well, see, here's the thing, and I actually did some research, Sonny. So I got a little surprise for you. Can you tell me what hero, not villain, hero, and I'll even give you another hint. It's on the Marvel side. What hero has died the most out of any hero, Marvel or DC?
Oh wow, who has died the most? I'm gonna say Wolverine.
Shockingly, he's number 3.
Oh, number 3. Wow, because I remember seeing thing. It's like top 10 Wolverine deaths. I'm like, wow, so he's died at least 10 times. So who is number 2 and 1?
Okay, so Wolverine tied for 3rd. He had 7 actual deaths along with Hawkeye. Number 2, Captain America came in with 11. Number 1, and I think you're gonna love this, because they got to the point where they lost count. And I looked up multiple sites, and all of them had the same answer. And the answer was lots and lots of deaths. Jean Grey.
Oh, Jean.
But yeah, so I did some research, and the number 4 I think was Batman with 6. So
So Jean Grey is just like they don't have an actual number.
I don't
Just
think
keeps down.
I don't know if I think they just count it in the comics, but every time it's like the resurrection of Jean Grey, or which happened in the past like 5 years. But there's been so many reiterations of Jean Grey coming back that every time she dies, it just resets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she'll just
So they have to keep
she'll
killing
pop
her,
out from
bringing her
behind a
back.
tree like, "Hey Scott," and then she'll be back. It's like, what? So her death didn't count that time? But as for the question or the topic of the week, which after this we gotta announce the top 3 that we picked for the week.
Real quick, Dave is saying that he said, well, if you count Spider-Verse, Spider-Man dies like 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, actually I take that back. Spider-Man was number Spider-Man was tied for 3. He died technically 7 times as a solo. We're not.
It's like Peter Parker.
Peter
Spider-Man.
Parker in main continuity. We're not talking about anything that went like Spider-Verse or anything like that. Because if you count technically Ben Reilly as well, the Scarlet Spider, he's a clone, like a direct clone of what do you call it? The Peter Parker's family. So you can go that route, and we could talk about that and be like, oh yeah, there's been millions of deaths, but we're talking about straight. This character died. They're done. We haven't seen them for a while. They come back.
Right. And then you have the top three
Do I?
picked, right?
Yeah, I could do top three. But let's get our answers out first. For me, if we're talking about characters dying, I think they should stay dead. At this point, I think we built up enough credibility for all the characters where they should, if they die, like, because it's simple. Like, now, it was just announced that Doctor Strange is, they're doing the death of Doctor Strange. Well, it's kind of ironic that it's around the time the movie's about to come out. Because you know it's going to be like, Doctor Strange is dead. New movie, Doctor Strange is back. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That death is not what it meant. There's no emotional attachment anymore. Because it's comics. You know they're going to come back. But if you look at someone like, with Batman, they finally, I don't know if you knew this, Sonny, but they finally killed Alfred. And I think we talked about someone in the shows before. But that is an emotional attachment because would you ever picture a Batman without Alfred?
No, like I said, Alfred means a lot. Like I said, Alfred, obviously, he's not like out there fighting. He doesn't have his own comic, or at least not that I know of. But he's, essential to the Batman story,
Right.
and he's always there right behind him.
Yeah, so like something that has that emotional attachment still, yeah, I want that. But if they're just going to use it as their scapegoat to get out of them backed into a corner, it's not worth it. I think that if you're going to kill somebody in comic continuity as it is, not like an Elseworld story, not some, what if, they should keep them for as long as possible till there's a reason, a solidified 100% reason to bring them back. What's your take on it?
So, yeah, pretty much like you. I do think that if someone dies, a character dies, they should stay dead, pretty much. I mean, like I'd say we look at, because like I said, it means a lot more, and it's a lot more risky when, okay, they're going to die. If they die, they're done. I'm not going to see this character for for all these years, they're done. And now it seems like so many characters, like we were just talking about, like you just said, Wolverine died how many times, and Jean Grey, all these characters, it doesn't mean much. You see them die, it's like, oh, okay, they're dead. I'll see them back soon.
Yeah.
Where even back in the day, I were talking like when Jason Todd died, and they kept him dead for, I don't know how many years he was dead before they brought in the Red Hood character, which is a cool character.
Don't do this to me. I think it was 3 or 4 years, because I think it was about like 3. I want to say roughly 3 years before they decided, hey, let's bring him back as the Red Hood.
Oh, Red Hood was that long ago?
Red Hood was, yeah, hang on. Oh, you keep talking. I'm going to look at it real fast because I have it on my phone.
Yeah, but like we said, even Red Hood, I thought it was dead for decades. I didn't realize, but even too, if it's years, it's still years, and it meant something. Like, that's what made that comic so powerful and so iconic. Like, oh my gosh, they actually killed off a character and he stayed dead.
Right.
And then Jean Grey, the first time she was dead, it was years before she was brought back, and it meant something. And even years later, there'd be comic issues. I'm trying to remember, there was one, and even at one point, Nightcrawler's looking at I'm trying to remember, which issue it was, but Nightcrawler's looking at like a sunset, and he suddenly gets sad, and he's saying like, oh, for some reason it's making me think of Jean. I missed her. It's been so long without her. And then years later, Cyclops would still think about Jean, and like I said, it meant something. But now, if everybody comes back, it doesn't mean much.
And my apologies. I was thinking about a different adaptation that they had with the Red Hood, because that was 3 or 4 years that they had. What was it? That was. There's a separate series called Lost Days for Red Hood, and that's the one that came to mind for some reason. And they talk about like what happened in that transition between Jason Todd dying and him coming back. Yeah. And he said it was like a 3-year span, so that's what was stuck in my head. It was 88 that they killed him off in 2004 when they brought him back.
Okay, yeah.
So you were right. It was just, in my mind, I was like, I know this, and then, it just went, oh, yep, there we go.
It's all right, things happen.
Yeah, I know. Not everyone could be perfect like you.
I try. Or, I mean, I don't even try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just there.
I'm chasing perfection. I always
Yeah,
chase in
we
everything
always
I
are.
do. I want these podcasts to be perfect. I want my books to be perfect. I want my show. That's why it's taking so long for me to get to my show, because I'm like, nope, it could be a little bit better. It could be a little bit better.
No, I get you. So yeah, you're in the same boat then. You want
Yeah.
if they're gonna be dead, stay dead for until there's another option that you need to bring them back.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
You know, and I keep bringing it up, and because it's just the perfect story, is that Green Lantern Blackest Night when everyone was dead. You had Clark Kent gone, Arthur Curry gone, Aquaman. You had Bruce Wayne gone. Everyone was dead. And in Blackest Night, they came back as Black Lantern zombies, basically. And but by the end of it, they came back to life. But they came back to fight a bigger cause.
Yeah.
You know, that's a reason to like bring them back. Have a reason and an actual logic to bringing them back. Not just be like, "Hey, over here. Do you guys miss me? No? Okay, I'm gonna go grab a soda. You want one? No."
Yeah, like you said, it's too much. Like you said, now it's too common. Like to even have a list of how many times they died, how many times they died. It shows you that it doesn't mean much. I mean, trust me, I'd be really sad if they kill Wolverine off and he stays dead. You know, I'm a huge Wolverine fan, but to see him die 7 times or whatever, it's like, okay, no emotion really felt.
No.
Because okay, I'll see him soon. I'll see him in 3 months.
Right. See him again in 5 pages. That's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But
5 pages and with Omega powers and all that.
yeah, he's got the Phoenix Force somehow. So on to the top 3 this week. We have Dennis Wiseman, who says, "Yes, it adds value to the storyline and raises the stakes, but I do think they make if they make death count, it should be more selective." And it kind of goes with what we got going on, and how we were saying that it should be more, I want to say, together. Like there should be a reason for it. Nothing more, nothing less. Then we have Salvatore Rowe, who we had on the podcast, or not on the podcast, but he was on it for the topic of the week the following week prior. I think they should, with some exceptions. If death wasn't permanent, the reader would never feel worried about their hero wouldn't survive. Oh, she will just hit it with a inverted Tachyon pulse, which is hilarious to me, and narrowly beat death and save the day. So this is why I feel it should be permanent. Really good stories will pull you in, and you'll generally get the feeling of, oh, they're going to die. And basically he was just asking, do you really think DC or Marvel would kill off any of their big 3 heroes or even their top 10? I mean, they have in the past killed off a good number of their heroes, and they have killed off even like top 10 anti-heroes and villains. But like I said, they never really last. It never just stays. It's always, they're
back.
They're back. And lastly, I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Is Dries Houlihan? I butchered this name. I apologize. I don't think main characters like Batman, Superman, or Spider-Man, Wonder Woman should stay dead. But supporting characters, I don't mind saying dead. Like, I would like to see what would happen if Aunt May permanently dies and how that would affect Peter Parker. I also want to understand about Jason Todd staying dead, which we already had brought up. So, yeah, I feel like it's the same realm everyone else is in, that there's got to be, you want to see what would happen if the longevity of them being dead stays that way. And also you want to know if they're being brought back, it's got to be for good reason. And lastly, you want to see like what the effects is on everybody else surrounding that character, that supporting cast.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, a lot of people seem to be in the same boat as us, where we want it to mean more.
Yeah, you want that emotional connection, because that's one thing I feel like we lost these days, is you don't have that, like, oh no, he's dead, and but then now it's like, oh, don't worry, in like 3 panels he'll be back. Like,
Yeah.
so, all right,
All right.
that was our
Now on
topic
to a
of the
new.
week.
Yeah, so that is our topic of the week, and we will be posting a new topic of the week soon. So now we're gonna start a new thing that I got started, and then later Jamie will get started too. He'll do it as well if he likes to.
Yep.
But it is mail call. So every now and then I see a lot of people like to post mail call and show comics what they get, and even too I like to see what other people get. So this week I happen to get quite a few comic books. So the first one I got this weekend was my 5th anniversary with my girlfriend Maria. She's put up with me for half of a decade.
Oh, that's nice. We put up with you for so long too.
That's a big thing. So thank you, Maria.
Yeah, thank you for all the times he has to cut you off in the middle of you talking.
Yes, Maria has to deal with all of me and all of my craziness. And one of the gifts she gave me for my anniversary is the Silver Surfer Epic Collection number 9. So this one I'm really excited for. And yeah, I can't read it. I know it also goes along with the Infinity Crusade, which I've always been a big fan of that comic series, or that story arc as well. So I'm really excited to get to reading the Silver Surfer, some more of it. And yeah, like I said, if you can't tell already, I'm a big Silver Surfer fan. And then some other stuff I got. So another day, one of our questions when we went to Marvel or DC, we were asked like, "Oh, will we cover more comics like or not just Marvel DC, but we ever could tell their
like
publishers
indie,
as well.
like Boom, Image,
like indie,
yes,
Image, yeah." And then I was thinking about that. I'm like, I've been a Spawn fan since I was a kid. Even when I was 7 years old, I dressed up as Spawn for Halloween. And then somebody literally like a day or two after posted the comics that Spawn and Wildcats happened to have a series together. And I liked Wildcats, the show, as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was immediately like, I need to get that. So I got Spawn and the Wildcats. 1, 2,
Ooh.
3, and finally 4.
You're gonna have to let me know how those are, because because they've been using Grifter for DC property. They have the rights to Wildcat. What do you call it? Wildcat. Yeah, they have the rights to them, but they just use Grifter. They don't use anybody else. They tried to come out with like a comic a couple of years ago, I think before the New 52, and they just went, "These are our characters," and now here's Grifter again. Like, so definitely let me know how that is. Shoot me a message or whatever when you're done reading those, because I'll definitely try to check it out.
Sure, yeah, because that's the Devil Day series, and it's only part 1 through 4, so I have all 4 parts, and I was very excited to get it. I'm like, I have to have that. I have to add more to my collection and not just stick to Marvel DC, because like I said, I like those characters. I'm like, they're together. I gotta get it. And then also, I got some more Spawn comics as well. Because I got a lot of Spawn. I got a deal. Spawn, Blood Feud, 2, 3, and 4. So now I need to get 1. And then I got Medieval Spawn and Witchblade. It's 2 issues. One I have them together. So I was glad to get all that. I'm not too familiar with Witchblade, but I'm like, okay, it looks pretty cool. And then, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the New Warriors.
Yes.
Somebody was posting about them, and I didn't realize
you got the old Warriors, didn't you?
Oh yeah, the old version of the New Warriors, where it's the Forever Yesterday storyline.
Okay.
It's a part 3, and they deal with some of my favorite characters, the X-Men. So I got issues. So at the New Warriors, issue 11.
Hey, son, you want to hold those
12.
up actually more in the middle so people can see them?
All right. The New Warriors, issue 11.
There you go.
Issue 12. And issue 13, which completes the Forever Yesterday story arc of the New Warriors. Nice. So that is my mail call for this week. Well,
I do have one thing for you. And now that you brought up reading, something other than, DC Marvel, there is one series I want you to check out. I'll give you the link to get to it if you want to just see the first issue. But I'm going to show it right now to everybody. It is from Image Comics. It is Radiant Black. The book is actually pretty amazing. The funny thing is, Sonny, for those that don't know, I moved up to Wisconsin about a year ago. I lived in Lockport, Illinois. The book takes place in Lockport.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and the writer's actually from Homer Glen, Lockport area. But it's just it's got a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers feel to it, like the way the characters are. But the thing that got me was like seeing like Lockport in a comic, kind of that gave me that emotional connection again.
Yeah.
So definitely, if anyone out there, gets a chance, check the book out. If you can find the singles or the floppies, get them. If not, get it in trade. It is well worth the read.
And what was it called
Radiant
again?
Black. I'll be posting it up on all the social medias along with Sonny and his mail calls. Hopefully, you get something up on those too. So.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I think we were saying it before. So, do you have anything else for mail call? Anything else this week you'd like to share?
No, I think I'm gonna start. I think I'll leave the mail call when I actually do get mail, because usually I just get weekly. I know you get more mail,
Okay.
but when I do actually get something, like I order something, I'll join you in the mail calls. But I'll be posting my picks for the week starting next week of what I like for that week that came out.
All right. And then to get us going, any stories this week that you're excited for that you just got?
This week, let me think. Trying to go through my catalog in my head here. Black Cat Annual. I'm waiting for. I can't wait to read that. And then I can't wait for. They came out with the 80th anniversary of Green Arrow, which is I think or 80 to 100 page. They've done them for the Joker. It was Joker, Green Lantern. Trying to remember who else. Joker, Robin. All those got 80th anniversaries. Catwoman, I believe, got one too.
Well, that sounds cool. I gotta check at least one of those out.
Yeah, they're
cool. Like I said, around 80 pages.
I think it's 80 to 100. It's around there. But there's like 8 or 9 mini stories in it by different artists, writers, everything. But yeah, those are definitely ones I would check out too. Green Arrow he's had his own solo series a few times, but it's just nice to see him back in the light again. So.
I'm not sure if it was on my part or not, but you cut out a little bit with the last part with Green Arrow.
Oh, I was just saying that. What do you call it? It's good to actually see him be back again.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so that brings us to the end of mail call. I look forward to doing it more. I don't get comics every week, but when I do get them, I will make sure to share them with everybody, because I like to share my joy with people. I'm happy, and I don't have so many people to be like, hey, look at what comic books I got. So I'm like, well, now I have we have a podcast, so I can share with everybody.
Yeah, we have an outlet now to do that.
All right. Well, Jamie, it is time for the surprise. Don't get mad at me.
I'm always mad at you.
Well, my surprise topic of the week, or my surprise, is our works. That's what I want to talk about, is what we have going on. Obviously, we have the Codex podcast going on, but I mean,
yes.
As much as I read comic books and everything like that, I'm a writer, and I have things that I'm working towards, and I have stuff that I want people to be a fan of, and I do my best. I put my heart and my soul into my work.
Right.
So that's why now I'm excited to do a little bit of our works. You can find me on Wattpad. My username there is Sono the Writer, SONO, and then the Writer, all together. You can find my works, and tomorrow I will be posting the first chapter, chapter 1, the meeting, and chapter 2, text/sext, in my book, To Be Alive and Desired. And then, now I know that's what we have to do. I know we stick to comic book stuff, superhero stuff, so I'm not just going to keep talking about all my other works. A series about a series, I'm still working on that.
Yeah, a thing about a thing.
Yeah. But being such a big fan of comic books, reading comic books so much, I knew somewhere deep down inside of me, I'm like, I have to have a superhero story in me. At least one.
Right.
So I do have more than one, but there was one story that a few years ago I got to writing, and I wrote the whole thing, and I did finish it, and it is on Wattpad. And the superhero story that I have out that I wrote is called "Once I Was a Superhero." And well, quickly I'll share with you a little bit about what it's about.
Go for it.
So, Once I Was a Superhero, the superhero drama. Gerard Pliskin was once the world's greatest superhero, Mr. Invincible. Now those days are over, and he lives with his wife Ruby and their grandchildren Jonah, Duncan, and Sharon. Everything seems to be going great until the gas man starts to kill old friends of Gerard's, and he is next on his list of victims. While this is taking place, a man by the name of Dustin Wayne is trying to hide away his powers and just wants to be normal. When he finds out what is going on with the gas man and Gerard Pliskin, he has to decide if he will continue to try to live life as a normal man or fulfill his destiny by becoming the superhero his reporter friend Rowena knows he could be. And that's what it's about. You can find it on Wattpad. Like I said, my username is Sonny the Writer, and you can just look up Once I Was a Superhero, and a full story is on there, all for free. So feel free to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody, we'll be posting maybe some links in the description, bios, and everything else for Sonny and his books where you can find them. If you guys are interested, you guys can DM me or him, and we will also redirect you to where you can find them personally.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for that. All right, Jamie, don't get mad at me now, but a while back, a certain friend of mine, a certain other host of mine, was working on a comic book of his own.
Yeah, there was. So I was working. I had 2 scripts. I had 2 different comics. I couldn't find an artist, and the artist that I did have, Corona hit, and couldn't afford it at the point anymore. Now I'm at the point where I probably could, but who knows? Maybe I'll make a comeback. I mean, I've done some writing for some people. I haven't seen anything put out from it, but I think a comeback is just around the corner there, SK.
Good, that's what I like to hear.
Maybe if we're lucky, me and you could co-write.
Do something together. I was even gonna say, I'm like, well, I know my stuff. Like, hey, if I don't know how your story's going, how your work process is, but as I was just saying, we talk about comics every day.
Yep.
We love it. It's our forte. It's what we love to do. So that'd be awesome. Hopefully, we can work on something together. But either way, like I said, I wanted to bring this up. I had to bring it up on the show because you were working on it before. I know it meant a lot to you, and I'm the type of person. I push my friends towards what they want, and I know deep down you really wanted to do this. So I'm here to tell you that we put it out there. Now the world knows about it. So you're gonna have to do it now, man.
Yeah, and I guess the cat's out of the bag there. I guess we're gonna have to publish it.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to do it. And
all right. Well, I guess the search for a writer or an artist is gonna be started here soon.
Yeah. So like saying the same thing. How Jamie, how you were just saying, how people, if they're interested in checking out my work, to message us, and if there's artists out there who are interested in working on Jamie's story, message him or me or the Codex podcast, and you never know. Maybe you'll find the perfect fit, and maybe we'll be seeing a comic book soon from you guys or from you and whoever, man. But keep working on it. I know sometimes
nice surprise there, Cakes. I appreciate that.
You will. Maybe you might be. I don't know how you feel right now, but one day in the future, you'll look back on this and you'll be glad. That I mentioned it.
I'm actually touched that you remembered I was even doing it.
Trust me, like I said, I won't forget it, and I'll keep pushing you towards it. If 5 years pass, I'll be like, hey, man, it's been over 5 years.
You've been slacking, bro. This podcast, we're on episode 537.
Yeah, but where is it? Been focusing on this. I know there's been a lot going on with this, so I understand if time.
This is, if there was one thing I was gonna push towards, it was this. And I remember I called you. What was it? Well, maybe November, December, when I first thought about starting creating content and doing this. And then January we decided, hey, why don't we just do a podcast? And then we came up with the idea of what we want to do, the sculpt, you were still doing your thing about a thing, and now I'm gonna keep saying that till you're tired of it.
Till it's out. How about when I release it?
I will take it seriously, and it's a series about a series.
There you go.
I'm not.
Until then,
and the sad part
keep
is,
busting
I'm
my
not
chops
even
about
in
it. Until then, keep getting on me
Yeah.
until I put it out there.
Right, and that's a constant thing that I do to you too. I'm like, hey, when am I gonna see this? So, yeah. This has been my bread and butter, my baby. Sonny knows. If you could see the amount of text messages I send Sonny a day and all the missed calls from me he has on his phone, you would understand.
Yes, there's many.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a great surprise. Thanks, buddy, for throwing that out there. Now I'm excited. Let's get this going again, and we'll see a thing about a thing and a thing about a comic here shortly, probably.
Yeah, hopefully soon, man. Yeah. So glad you brought that up. That was the surprise. Our works, and then now we call it a show. No, I'm messing around.
We have a couple more things we want to go over first. We're gonna go over reviews, and this time I'm gonna say this. I know you're hosting this week, but at this point, if you have not read Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual 1 or Silver Surfer Annual 6, you should stop now, unless you want to hear all spoilers. Because we didn't get to do that last week because Sonny went on a tirade about his monologue and then went right into the review, and I'm sitting here with my hand over my face. 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I'm so happy about being back. I know. Worry about your thing about a thing. But yeah, if you guys don't want any spoilers, stop this now. And Sonny, you want to take this one? Start it off with Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual 1?
Okay, so Jamie recommended to me Red Hood and the Outlaws issue number 1. So I know you want me to do good long reviews, man.
No, you do you. I mean, I'd like a little bit more of information, but you do a good job regardless, man. So.
Well, thank you. So I was able to read it, and I thought it was good. I know you want to say a little more. I know you want more than that. Yeah. So Dick Grayson, Nightwing, he goes to the circus, and he's meeting up with the Red Hood. Well, if you're unfamiliar with the Red Hood and the Outlaws, it's Red Hood. At least this volume is Red Hood, Bizarro, and Artemis.
Yep. So
they're working undercover, and then Nightwing, Dick Grayson is there. He meets up with them. Him and Red Hood kind of have back and forth. Neither wants to admit, like, hey, could you help me? Yes, I'll help you. So Artemis kind of puts them in their place. Like, guys, just basically put your egos aside, say what you gotta say, and they agree to work together. And I think, well, one of my favorite lines was Bizarro is making beans for everybody, and he says to Dick Grayson, what was it? Dick Man, more beans.
Yeah.
And then we know it's his name, but I was like, yeah, I know why they put that one in there. At least there was one joke that was able to get me laughing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they do eventually work together, and Nightwing does explain to Artemis kind of his relationship with Red Hood, how they were, like brothers. They weren't, they didn't have the same exact parents, but they both shared Batman as a father, basically, Yeah. And Alfred, we tell Alfred he looked out for them too. So there we go. They eventually decide to work together. They find the Beast. The Beast has been hired to be a bad guy, and the Beast is hired to take them out. They fight the Beast. I thought it was a good fight. Good artwork, really good artwork. And there you go. I'd say to check it out. It's a good fight, and I'm not going to tell you the ending.
That's fine. You got a rating?
But yes, so I have a rating. I thought it was good. I enjoyed the story. I wasn't like blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, this is. I'm so hooked. But I thought it was a good read. Yeah, great artwork. And for me, I'd say if you're in the mood for a good one-shot read, I'd say to read it. So for me, I give Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual 1 a 8.0.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So this week you gave me Silver Surfer Annual number 6. So to start off, I thought it'd be more Silver Surfer centric, and actually, the first story of 3 that are in this, we get. I'm gonna try to say the name right this time. Genus. How do we say for the pre-show?
I just call him Janet.
Genus. That's it. That's it. I was like, what were we saying earlier? Genus. Basically at the bar, playing poker, scamming his way through, winning money. And then we get, you actually have the. Oh, you do. Yep, yes. There we go.
I'll let you continue.
But we move on. Silver Surfer takes him, says he's basically got to go see his mother. He's like, I haven't seen my mother in years. There's no... What's the point? And when he sees his mother, she informs him that his father, that we thought, Eros the Titan, is actually not his father at all. And all that disdain and hate he had for him does not need to be there because there's a reason for him not being around, and the fact that he's not his father. We find out that his mother had been with Marvel, and that is actually his father. She gives him the bands, and then, which is probably my favorite part in this book, was seeing Ronan the Accuser again. Because I never really had like a Ronan experience other than Guardians of the Galaxy. And their interaction, him basically saying he's not his father, he's not anything like Marvel, he never really knew him. And at one point he's up in space going, if there's any way I could be like you, and this is the point, this is the time. And overall, for that part of the story, I liked it a lot. There was the second story, which was Terex the Axe. And was it Terex the Terror? Is his name? He basically just comes in, tries to get a weapon, and it's an axe. They basically be like, hey, you gotta pay for this, and he's like, nope, and he starts just beating everybody. The story was all right, and the Jack of Hearts story, I thought I need to read more about it. It didn't make sense to me because I don't know a lot about both the previously 2 characters. It was basically more of a romance, like, hey, I can't be with you, but maybe now we can, and then it was like, no, we can't. So basically my whole love life. So I thought this made me want to start reading Silver Surfer. I'm going to put that out there right now. It made me want to expand more within the cosmic realm of Marvel because the first story had me hooked. And I think you're going to like this, Sonny. If I had to give this a rating, it'd be an 8.7 right now. Now, the other 2 stories as the whole, the other 2 kind of like, I didn't know a lot. Terex kind of reminded me of like a Wish version of Darkseid, so I didn't really understand it too much. And then the Jack of Hearts and I don't even know how to say her name.
Yeah, Ganymede. I say Ganymede.
Yeah. That one I didn't understand at all. So I was just like, okay, it's a love story that didn't work out. So yeah, 8.7. I think it's a good read. It's a good one to check out if you're a Silver Surfer fan. I think it's a good one if you're trying to expand within the Marvel cosmic galaxy. So definitely check that one out when you guys get a chance. I definitely I enjoyed it. I thoroughly did.
I'm glad you did. And how you were saying, it's pretty interesting how you were saying, with the Jack of Hearts story, like they mentioned, like, back in issue 82, and that's why I got, I was going over obviously the annual, because I knew you were going to be going over it, and then all those stories it mentions like in issue 82, so that's why I got the Epic Collection.
Yeah,
is because the Epic Collection has like issue 82 and a lot before it, and then goes to the annual and a little bit after it. So like you said, when I went over it again, I'm like, I want to read more. I want to experience more, the Silver Surfer. So
Right. So yeah,
that's what I'm planning on doing.
I definitely want to start checking out some more of the older Silver Surfer now. So thank you for that, Sonny. That was a good recommendation.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. I always enjoy reading, and I did enjoy reading Red Hood and the Outlaws. I was getting my car fixed, and I said, "This is the time."
Now is
to
the time more than ever.
Yes, it definitely helped me pass the time when I needed it.
Right. So, yeah. Now that the reviews are done, you want to go over the next two books that arcs that we're gonna go over next week?
Yep. So next week we will have our books finished. A couple weeks ago, on episode 1, we had recommended each other more books, and was it episode 1 or 2?
That was 2.
All right. Well, we recommended each other more books, and now next week we will be reviewing both of them. I recommended to Jamie the New Teen Titans, the Judas Contract, and he recommended to me Deceased.
Yep, and I've already finished the Judas Contract. I have my notes ready for that. So,
okay. And I
don't know where you're at with Deceased and how you're liking it so far, which we'll find out next week on the Codex Podcast over on YouTube and twitch.tv/Codex Podcast. Just throwing that out there.
And everything else, all our other ones.
Yeah, and everything else we're on now.
Yeah, but I'm halfway through it, and this weekend, or by Wednesday, I will definitely have it done. So I won't say too much. I'm enjoying it so far, so I will have it finished by next week, and I look forward to our reviews and doing another episode, so we can do it week after week. So I'm glad we were able to do this one. We were able to go longer than usual, make up for lost time, and the Codex Podcast is back.
Yes, we are. And I wanted to say thank you again for everybody that's reached out to us, talked to us, done whatever possible. We are back. We're excited. Now you can find us on so many more platforms. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, everything. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on Podcast, Breaker, wherever you can find us, go to. Every time you guys listen, you're a big support. And I want to put out a big shout out to our friend that you hear us talk so much about, Dave. He's been one of our biggest supporters, biggest help. As much as I give him crap during the pre-show, which you guys can check out at twitch.tv/Codex Podcast, again, for another plug. He's done our intros and outros for the YouTube channel. So every time you hear that little beat drop, that's him. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for listening. Every like, share, subscribe, tweet, retweet helps. And we love you guys from the bottom of our hearts that do it for us every week.
All right. And for me, thank you, everybody. Thank you again, Jamie. Pretty much took the words from my mouth.
Yes, I did.
Well, it's from the both of us. Thank you all very much. We look forward. Thank you for the support. And we look forward to being back next week for another episode of the Code X Podcast. You all have a great week. We will see you next Wednesday, 5 o'clock for the pre-show on Twitch, and 5:30 for the actual episode.
Yep, and next week's my turn to host, so get ready, Sonny.
All right, I'm ready for it, and I hope you guys are too. So with that, we say goodnight.
Yep.
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.